Inifresi.
Gina ni mastakelum gihina zoku. Ni mastakelum gi corações.
Zani masfigu nani nasinyahu.
Ua fresa maisadzu para baributehi.
Zan udifendi ihenyangi.
Iko tura ilenguahi.
Iari.
Ihanum zani tanu chamorro.
Ni inichoku diretu generanzo estata.
Esti ua fitma gehelo e biblia.
Zani venerahu I bandera guahan.
Buenas and hafide tauta Guahan Zan Saipan. Guahusi Tiffany Kirigua. Hello, people of Guam and Saipan. I am Tiffany Kirigua, your host for this third season of Hestorian y Isla'ta. I invite you to join me every Monday in March for a new episode on this Sorensen Media Group television station. In this episode, we will take in the Tomoru language and learn how to keep our island's environment healthy at the same time with Polly Eric Forbes. Rita Nauta of Guampedia.com will join us again to share a fact on the island of Guam. Lieutenant Governor Ray Tenorio will move forward in the timeline of the Guam flag and seal. As well, Alicia Tovis Cali will share her fish kelaguen skills with us, and Annette Nungef Pagu will perform for us. So stay right there. Hestorian y Isla'ta starts right after this. Welcome back to Hestorian y Isla'ta. Here is Rita Nauta of Guampedia.com with an interesting fact about Guam and real-life pirates.
We rely on our past to give us a sense of who we are and how we identify ourselves to others around us. Likewise, as a community, Guam's heritage and historic sites provide people with important links to our island's rich past. To date, Guam has 131 historic sites on the National Register of Historic Places. Hafide, Guahu si Rita Nauta from Guampedia.com, a community project that highlights the unique history of Guam and the Chamorro heritage of the Marianas. Did you know that as early as 1671, the Spaniards built forts of various kinds from Hagåtña to Malessu? And that the remnants of only 5 of these historic sites still exist today? A total of 14 forts were built along Guam's coastline, like Fort Soledad in Humatec, in an effort to stave off attacks by other Europeans, usually pirates. Most of these forts were open batteries designed for cannons to fire through openings. Spain's primary interest in the Marianas for the first 100 years of colonization revolved around the Acapulco-Manila galleon trade. For 250 years, merchant ships crossed the Pacific, connecting Manila with Acapulco and eventually Spain. Guam's location made it a convenient and important provisioning station and landmark for these ships. Chamorros participated in trade with the galleons and provided water and food to the passing ships. Privateers and pirates knew that these gold and silver-laden ships would likely stop here and waited offshore to attack them to get their loot. Learn more amazing facts about our island's history at Guampedia.com. You can also pick up a copy of Guampedia's 101 Amazing Facts About Guam at UOG's Triton Bookstore, Setlu or Iputian in the Chamorro Village, and the Guam Museum Gift Shop. Your support of this publication will help Guampedia continue to make Guam's rich history accessible online. Biba Guahan, Biba Tomoru, Sizuas Maasi.
Sizuas Maasi, Rita. Be sure to tune in next week to find out how potato salad ended up on our local fiesta table. Moving on with the show, here is Polly Eric Forbes sharing the importance of the ocean or tasi.
Buenas Afañelos, Guahu si Polly Eric. This year, 2017, is the International Year of Reconnecting with Nature. So let's learn the Chamorro words for 4 very basic components of the environment around us. Today, we learn the Chamorro word for our ocean, tasi. No human beings would have ever moved to Guam unless they had sailed across the tasi. Our ancestors were champions of ocean travel, braving the dangers of the sea, and mastering the skills needed to sail in uncharted waters. From our Tasi, our people have obtained many necessary or helpful things for life, numerous kinds of seafood, salt, and even the shells needed for jewelry, money, and tools. Our ancestors were so at home in the Tasi that Europeans said that a Chamorro had no trouble at all diving to great depths for extended periods to catch something that fell or to catch large fish. Sadly for us, our Tasi has already been terribly damaged by modernity. Our once vibrant and colorful coral ecosystem has diminished by as much as 50% in many areas, and this has affected the marine life dependent on a healthy coral reef. Man-made contaminants have leaked into our Tasi and poisoned the fish. Pollutants from land have run off during heavy rains into our Tasi, bringing toxic elements into the Tasi. Let's do our part to save our Tasi from man-made damage. Let's keep our land clean so that rain doesn't carry pollutants into the Tasi. Let's respect fishing laws so that fish populations can have time to replenish. If you use the beach for recreation, clean it up before you leave. Let's enjoy the gifts of our Tasi for years to come and for generations to come.
Stay right there. When we return, we will again sit with the official keeper of the Guam seal and learn more about the history of our iconic flag. But first, can you answer this question? Today, Guam flies its flag together with the flag of our nation, the United States of America. Guam did not have her own flag until 1917. Before that, the flag of which nation was raised over the island until 1898? Was it A, the Philippines, B, Japan, or C, Spain? The answer when we return. Did you figure it out? Today, Guam flies its flag together with the flag of our nation, the United States of America. Guam did not have her own flag until 1917. Before that, the flag of which nation was raised over the island until 1898? Was it A, the Philippines, B, Japan, or C, Spain? The correct answer is C, Spain. After the Spanish authorities surrendered to the Americans in Pidi, the American flag was raised over Nuestra Señora de los Dolores y la Santa Cruz, or Fort Santa Cruz in Apra Harbor. Let's sit with the official keeper of the Guam seal, Lieutenant Governor of Guam, Ray Tenorio, and find out more on the history of our Guam flag. Thank you for joining us again, Lieutenant Governor Ray Tenorio.
Ogomash, thank you.
So, I know that a lot of people who grew up seeing the flag thought it was just always there. But for anyone who doesn't know the history of it, can you give us an idea of when the flag actually came about?
Sure, the Guam flag originated almost 100 years ago. In 1917, it was approved by the naval governor at the time, and it was very interesting because it sort of evolved, and there's some controversy about the creator, the original designers, and there was a naval officer's wife by the name of Helen Paul, and there's a Francisco Fea, and there's a large debate about who did what. But at the end of the day, they're both sort of attributed to the origins of the Guam flag. And the Guam flag, as I mentioned previously, was later evolved to the Guam seal. And it was first flown by the naval government in 1918. So coming up on the 100th anniversary, it's a kind of remarkable time for us to be alive and to live to be the descendants of the original creators of what is now iconic for the island and the territory of Guam. And those kind of words are also been changed over time. The law of the people of Guam has changed what used to be Great Seal of the territory of Guam, island of Guam, to Tanuaman Chamorro, Great Seal of Guam, which means land of the Chamorros. So these things have changed over time, but the origins, you know, the humble beginnings are quite interesting. It's 1948, I didn't realize until recently that the Guam seal, the red border around the blue field, was added after World War II. So There's been a lot of little nuances and changes and interesting sort of tidbits of information that have floated around, and we've talked about them both in the Great Seal Park that we've created, the Living Seal, as well as putting together a new Guam seal that I'm going to be putting in my office before hopefully my term is finished.
So thank you, Lieutenant Governor, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about the Guam flag and the Guam seal.
Thank you.
Tezus Masi.
Welcome back to Hestorian Isla'ta. Let's move on to everyone's favorite, food. Keeping with our Tsesa theme, or appetizer, here is Alicia Tova's Cali of Cali Cafe preparing some fresh fish kelaguen.
Afade Guam, my name is Alicia. Welcome to Cali Cakery. Today we are doing, or I'm going to show you how to do fish kelaguen. Today I'm going to use marlin. You could use any kind of fish that you want, but today I'm going to use marlin. And the ingredients that you would need are onions, green onions, lemon. I also have some fresh lemon, our local lemon in calamansi, and green onions and fresh peppers, and then salt as well. So first thing you do is, there's a lot of issues going around with fish and raw foods and stuff. So I just ask, that you be careful with choosing fish. So we go to a reputable store to purchase, or what I do is, I don't think it's the same as before where you get it fresh and just make it into a kelaguen. I think the best thing to do is to make sure that your fish is at least frozen, because when it freezes, it kills all kinds of germs or whatever it is that's in there, just to be safe, but it's really up to you. So what I do is I cube the fish. I chop them into cubes just like this. It's up to you how big or how small you want it. Just cut it like this. And it's best to not fiddle with the fish as much, so it won't become almost like hairy-like. You want it to keep it nice and smooth. So here in the restaurant, of course, we have to use gloves. At home, you don't have to. It's really up to you. Okay, so last one. Just like that, okay? And then I put it into a bowl. Yeah, this is probably a really big ball, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so we add your onions. Use as much or as little as you want, but onions really give it a good taste. I use green onions as well. And then to start, I start with lemon powder. Lemon powder helps to give it its sourness and kill the rawness of the fish. And the lemon powder also helps to keep it a little dry. So if you want your kelaguens to be dry, it's good to use lemon powder. But I also like to add fresh. So here I'm going to use our U.S. lemon. It's good to squeeze on it to get all those juices out. Oh, I should have took off my gloves first. Do this. Take off your gloves. And then, so let's use another one. And then you just squeeze it into your kelaguens. And I also like to use our local lemons and our local calamansi. But with the calamansi, I wait to the end to put this in because I really believe that it's putting it in at the end, you'll keep its freshness. So I also use this local. Okay, so you take all of that, you squeeze it in. You add some fresh pepper as well. And again, it's up to you. If you like it hot, then you put more. If you don't really like it that hot, then you put less. But who doesn't like a hot kelaguen, right? So we put that in. After you squeeze in all your lemons, you add your salt. Your salt for me would be last because that will determine how salty or how, sour you would like it. So let's put on the gloves again. There we go. Okay. So put the salt, and then we'll squeeze in our lemons. Squeeze until you can get all those juices out. Okay? And then you mix it up and just try it. Once you get the correct taste, you'll know when your kelaguen is perfect. Thank you, and have a good day.
Tune in again next time as Alicia will prepare some tinala chutney, or dried meat. Hestorian Isla'ta will return with a dance segment featuring cultural dance group in Pagu. For the final segment in this episode of Hestorian Isla'ta, let me introduce you to Vince Regis and his award-winning cultural dance group in Pagu.
The chant that you are seeing today is called Fagmata, written by J. Pasqua. Fagmata means to wake up, and the reason why we use it is because we are kind of telling and asking our people to wake up, pay attention to what's happening with our culture, pay attention to what's happening with our island. And so we do it just as a way to kind of call for a call to action. So, Fagmata.
Undunkalu Nasizuis Masi for watching this episode of Hestorian Isla'ta. Remember, every March is Tomorrow Month, but we don't have to wait until March to celebrate our Tomorrow history, culture, language, and people. Biba Tomorrow, Biba Mes Tomorrow!